Hello students, welcome to ELGA 13 online revision class. In today's class, we will be doing revision of Unit 3, in which we will cover whole words, reading and listening comprehension, grammar, writing and speaking expression. So before we start our today's class, you must have your student reader, a notebook, pen or pencil. So let us first cover whole word section. Students, do you know who is a detective? A detective is a person whose job is to find clues and solve crimes or problems. In the same way, we will find clues and meanings of new words like how detectives do. We will use these steps to find the meanings of new words. That is LUPRC. L means look for clues. For this we need definition, examples, synonyms, antonyms and inference. U stands for understand the word. P stands for predict the meaning. R stands for read the sentence. And C, check the meaning. Step 1 is looking for clues. In step 1, there are 5 types of clues that we look out. First one is definition and explanation. Second, synonyms. Third, antonyms. Then example, and the last is inference. Let us learn about 3 types of clues: definition and explanation, synonyms and antonyms. Clue 1, definition or explanation. Sometimes the word is defined or explained in the sentence. Let us read one example. When my grandmother was young, she was a millionaire who made caps. Which words help me guess the meaning? Which type of clue is it? So as we have just read, the word is defined or explained in the sentence. So you can see, when my grandmother was young, she was a millionaire who made caps. So what does millionaire means? A person who makes caps. Which word help me guess the meaning? Who made caps? Yes. And which type of clue is it? It was definition or explanation. Clue 2 is synonyms. As we know, synonyms are same meaning words. So sometime another word with a similar meaning is used. As you can see, present and gift. They both the words have same meaning, similar meaning. Let's read one example. My brother looked at the ugly sweater. Ew. He said, that looks hideous. Which words help me guess the meaning? Which type of clue is it? What does hideous mean? It means ugly. So which words help me guess the meaning? Ugly and ew. Which type of clue is it? So it is synonyms. Clue 3 is antonyms. Sometimes a word with an opposite meaning is used to suggest the meaning of the new word. As big opposite is small. Let's see one example. My brother loves football, but I detest it. Which words help me guess the meaning? Which type of clue is it? Let's see. So my brother loves football, but I detest it. What does detest means? Detest means hate. So which word help me guess the meaning? That is loves and but. Which type of clue is it? So it is antonyms. Let's revise about two more clues, that is example and making inference. Clue 4 is example. Sometimes an example of the word is used to suggest its meaning, like sports, cricket, flower, lotus. Let's see example. My aunt is very compassionate. Whenever I feel upset, she talks to me kindly. So which word help me guess the meaning? Which type of clue is it? Let's see. My aunt is very compassionate. Whenever I feel upset, she talks to me kindly. So what does compassionate means? Compassionate means a person who is kind and care for others. Which words help me guess the meaning? She talks to me kindly. Which type of clue is it? So it is example. Clue 5 is inference. Sometimes there isn't any of the 4 clues that we learnt about. We just have to make an inference or a guess based on what we have read and what we already know. So what I read plus what I already know about it, so is equals to my guess. So we have to make a just guess. For example, after a long day of working for 10 hours, she felt weary. Which word helped me guess the meaning? Which type of clue is it? As we have read in the sentence, after a long day of working for 10 hours, she felt weary. So weary means, like, just make a guess. If we will work for 10 hours, so we will be very tired. So make a guess. Weary means tired. Which word helped me guess the meaning? Long day of working for 10 hours. And which type of clue is it? It is inference. So in whole words, we have learned how to find meanings of new words. Now let us start the second component, reading and listening comprehension. Look at these pictures and answer the question. What are these pictures about? Look it carefully and think, what are these pictures about? These pictures are about learning, education, children studying. Yes, as you can see, children are learning, they are taking education, children are studying. Now again, look at these pictures and answer the question. What are these pictures about? These pictures are about children not learning in school, children not living a good life, problems faced by children. When you looked at those pictures, you found the main idea of those pictures. So main idea is the common and the most important idea in the details we see. Now we will learn how to identify the main idea in a story. So let's learn the steps to identify the main idea. The first step is read the title. Based on the title, find the important words. First of all, we have to read the title, and based on that title, we have to find the important words. Second step is find the supporting details based on the important words. So we have to find out the supporting details based on those important words which we have found out. Third step is think about what is the most important message that those details are telling us. So we have to think what is the most important message. Then last step, fourth step is explain the most important idea in one word, phrase or a sentence. So we have to explain that most important idea in one word, either phrase or in a sentence. So by following these steps, we can easily find out the main idea. So remember these 4 steps. Now let's revise the third component, that is grammar. So let us read these sentences and answer the questions. This cat is sleeping on the carpet. That car is sleeping on the sofa. How are these words used in the sentence? How do they change the meaning of the sentence? Let's see. As you can see the highlighted words, this, that. The word this and that tell us if something is near or far away from us. This is used to show what is close or near us. That is used to show what is far away from us. So this we are using when something is close or near to us, and that we are using when something is far or away from us. Let us read another example for using this and that. This tie has dots. That tie does not have dots. So this tie means the tie which is having dot, that is near to me. That's why I have used this. The tie which does not have dots, that was far from me. That's why what we have used, that. Okay, so my brother bought this book for me. My brother bought these books for me. What do you think is the difference between this and these? What is the difference? Both the words this and these tell us about things or people which are near the speaker. However, this is used for one book, that means singular. These is used for many books, that is plural. So this we are using when we talk about one thing, that means when we talk about singular, and these we are using when we talk about plural and something is near to us. This dog is sitting on the floor. These apples are fresh. So this we have used for near, something is near, dog is near to us and is singular. These we have used, that is also near to us, but apples, we are talking about apples, that means plural. That's why we have used these. So when something is near but that is one, singular, so we write this. When something is near but it is plural, there are so many, so we write these. That bird just flew away. Those clouds are covering the sun. How are the words that and those used here? Both the words that and those tell us about things or people which are far from the speaker. However, that is used for singular, those is used for plural. So both that and those, they tell us when things or the people are far from the speaker, and that we are using when we talk about singular thing, and those we use when we talk about plural things. So now we have learned the use of this, that, these, those. Now let us revise the last component, that is writing and speaking expressions. So today we will revise how to write a letter. So an excellent letter must have sender's address, date, salutation, introduction, body, then conclusion, and at last subscription. Second point, sentences. Use complete and different types of sentences. So while writing a letter, we should use complete and different types of sentences. They must sound different from each other. There should be 15 to 18 sentences. So we should remember this thing, that we should write a complete sentence. Different types of sentences must be there, and at least 15 to 18 sentences should be there. Third, have different words to explain what we want to say. So we should use a good vocabulary. It must also have exact word to share exactly what we have in mind. So like I said, good vocabulary words should be used. Fourth, include different details and examples to explain your ideas. So we should use different details. We should give examples to explain our ideas, and it also have questions that we have in our mind. So we can add on questions also. And then fifth is grammar. It must use correct spellings and grammar. So there must not be grammatical mistakes. Spellings must be correct, and it should look neat. So your letter should look neat. So in your student reader, you can open SR7. There is a format of informal letter. So first comes the sender address, then date, then salutation, then introduction, body of the letter, conclusion, and at last subscription. As we have learned how to write a letter, students, do practice of writing informal letter. And that's all for today's class. Thank you, students, for attending the online class. Happy learning. Take care.